Children, welcome back to our English classroom. This is Shilpa ma'am again with your third unit, second poem, The Brook, written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. I already discussed with you that Alfred Lord Tennyson, he's the naturalist poet. Okay, so according to him, he is a classic poet and The Brook is one of the famous poem of him. So I'm going to recite the poem. Listen very carefully and I hope you will enjoy. In your page number 47 of your textbook, you can see the brook. Okay, so I'm going to recite the poem. Listen. The brook. I come from haunts of cool and hern. I make a sudden sally and sparkle out among the fern to bigger down a valley. By 30 hills I hurry down or slip between the ridges. By 20 tops a little town and half 100 bridges. I chatter over stony ways in little shops and trebles. I bubble into eddying bays. I babble on the pebbles. I chatter, chatter as a flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. Okay, this is a refrain of the poem. I love this stanza very well. Okay, I went about and out, with here a blossom sailing, and here and there a lusty trout, and here and there a grayling. I steal by lawns and grassy plots, I slide by hazel covers, I move the sweet forget-me-nots that grow for happy lovers. I slip, I slide, I glue my glance among my skimming swallows. I make the natural sunbeams dance against my sandy shallows. And out again I curve and flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. Okay, so in this poem, the poet says that he personified in this poem the life of the human being and the flow of the brook. Okay, so that's what we are going to discuss over here. Okay, so next I'm going to give you the summary of the poem by Stanza, so you have to listen. It's always getting bored to give the lectureship. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the summary of the poem stanza wise. So you have to close your eyes and enjoy the poem, the beauty of the poem and the beauty of the lyrics. Okay, so I'm going to give you the summary. Listen very carefully and enjoy the poem. The brook. In this poem, the brook has been personified, so it narrates its story in the first person. Okay, and tell us how it passes through the high mountains, tough terrains, deep valley, and finally overcoming all the hurdles of the way, reaches its destination. What is the ultimate destination of the river or the brook? Yes, it has to be reached and the brimming river. Okay, the overflowing river. The brook represents nature and also portrays that it is permanent, while the life of the human beings is impermanent. Means men are mortal, rivers are perennial, which says that man has entrance and exit. They have birth and death, and the river, it flows forever. Okay, human beings take birth on this earth, grow up and then die, but the brook goes on forever. It faces all of its obstacles boldly and keep on moving forward with a strong determination to reach its goal. On the other hand, the people also, they are having their intention to reach or to attain the goal. Okay, so that's what the poet is going to be explained in this poem. He personified the life of the human being and the flow of the brook. Okay. In the first line, the brook tells us about its origin. Okay, so I come from haunts of core and horn. I make a sudden sally and sparkle out among the fern to beckon down a valley. It comes out of the places that are frequently visited by birds like coot and heron. It may be a widely spread lake surrounded by high mountains. Then it quickly moves forward with a strong determination. We already discussed about the determination. What is the ultimate aim of the brook? To reach the brimming river, and great enthusiasm. If we want to achieve any goal in our life, will become more enthusiastic. Okay, so that's the same thing the poet described here also. When it moves through the fern plants, its water shines brightly with the sun rays falling on it. After that, it falls down from height, creating a lot of noise to enter a valley. By 30 hills I hurry down, or slip between the ridges. By 20 tops a little town, and half a hundred bridges. This stanza is an account of the brooks flowing through different areas. The poet has created wonderful imageries. When we read the brook flowing by 30 hills, slipping between ridges, 20 small villages, a little town, and 50 bridges. So, what are the places, or which are the places the brook is flowing? So, that is explained over here. I chatter over stony ways in little sharps and trebles. I bubble into eddying bass, I babble on the pebbles. The brook again says that it produces a chattering sound while moving forward. It also says that it flows forever and its life is permanent. We already discussed about that. Men are mortal, rivers are perennial. Okay? Then, because it represents nature, the human beings come on this earth for a short time. Their life is not permanent. The brook goes on the strong and stony path, creating chattering sound. Chattering means to talk. Okay, in the case of the human beings, we can say that, okay, this is the conversation between the people. Okay, here the water, when the water it touches the stones, so it makes the sound, what the poet depicts. It makes sharp, high pitched sound when the brook clashes on the side banks of the land. It makes bubbles when it falls from the height in the spiral movement. When it moves on the pebbles, it creates soft, pleasing sound. In this stanza, you can see the refrain of the poem. Okay, I chatter, chatter as I flow. Whenever it flows or whenever I flow, I do talk in between. I make sound. Okay, here the chatter means the sound. Okay, to join the brimming river, we already discussed about this. The ultimate destination of the brook is to reach the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. This is the fantastic line the poet described over here. That is, man has entrance and exits, but the river it flows forever. Okay, this is the refrain of the poem. Obviously, now you will have the doubt why Shilpa ma'am is always talking about the refrain of the poem. Okay, my dear children, do you understand what is the meaning of refrain? Okay, I'll tell you. Refrain is a line or a group of lines that regularly repeat, usually at the end of a stanza in a poem or at the end of a verse in a song. It repeats at regular intervals throughout a poem. In this poem, the Brook, Alfred Lord Tennyson, he repeated the lines, for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever, many times. That's why in this poem, these two lines are treated as a refrain of the poem. At the end of the stanza, the last line also, it says that for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. I hope you understand the meaning of refrain. I went about and in and out, with here a blossom sailing, and here and there a lusty trout, and here and there a grayling. In this line, the brook continues telling about its journey. It moves, making course in and out through the valley. It passes the places where several beautiful flowers float on its surface. Sometimes freshwater fish and graylings are found in its water. I steal by lawns and grassy plots. I slide by hazel covers. I move the sweet forget me nots that grow for happy lovers. The brook describes its journey through the plains. It passes by lawns and grassy plains. Then it moves quickly and smoothly by the hazel tree grows. It also moves sweet smelling forget me not flowers that grow for happy lovers. In this way, the brook continues its journey. Sometimes it moves and slides quickly on the way to reach its destination. I slip, I slide, I gloom, I glance among my skimming swallows. I make the netted sunbeam stands against my sandy shallows. It passes through the gloomy shades of the trees growing on its banks. After some time, it comes out of the darkness and then it's able to glance here and there. The swallows also softly touch its surface, the buds. Okay? When the water of the brook becomes shallow near its banks, the sun ray seems to be trapped in its net. They seem to be dancing on the sand in the shallow water. Finally, what happened? The brook has reached its own destination. That's a brimming river. Okay, so and out again and curve and flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. The brook continues narrating its story of journey. While reaching its destination, the brook has to continue its journey under the moonlight and the stars. It doesn't stop anywhere, but sometimes its speed gets low when there are some hindrances like thorny bushes, rocks, and shingles. Okay, so in the same time, on the other hand, we the human beings also we have to face lots of problems to reach the destination or to attain our goal. According to the brook, finally what happened? It reaches a brimming river and he continues his journey. But on the other hand, the man or the human beings, they reached their death. Okay, that's the point depicts over here. From the first stanza till the end of the stanza, you can see the life, the stages of the human being. It has detail explained over here. The first stanza, it depicts the birth of the human being. Then they slowly they started to chatter. Then they have to face their difficulties in their life. Then their teenage, their adolescent, when they come to their old age, what will happen? See, sense eye, sense teeth, sense everything. So they have the end. Okay. So on the other hand, the brook ultimate destination or intention to reach the brimming river. I hope you understand the poem. In this poem, the Alfred Lord Tennyson expresses or depicts the refrain that is, men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. It says that man has the entrance and exit, but on the other hand, the river it flows or the brook it flows forever. Okay, so it says that men are mortal and rivers are perennial. Okay, so I hope you understand the poem and we'll see you soon with our next module.